And I will dispel all rumors that I have any trouble with luchadors.
Watch this. Look at it, this beauty. The penta driver.
But I'm man enough to admit when I have a problem. I lost to Penta last week. What are we going to do here?
And so that's the whole premise of Chad Gable's latest adventure. His latest storyline in WWE is that the dude has trouble fighting luchadors. And while it's a ridiculous and stupid idea, Chad Gable's making it work. He's making it ridiculous and amazing. And so Chad Gable, he can't fight luchadors apparently. He's lost to Zelina Vega, Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Penta on an amazing debut for Penta. He lost to all of them. And so now he gets a phone number from Dominik.
I've already gone to a man that knows a thing or two about lucha libre. An intelligent man with a mustache to match. And help me out.
Fine. No guy who can help you out.
Oh.
To go train against the dark arts of luchadors, and it's like, oh my god, this is wrestling. This is what wrestling is in all of its ridiculous over-the-topness, and yet compiled with just amazing wrestling and character work. I should hate this storyline, but I'm not even low-key loving it. I'm high-key loving it at this point. Chad Gable, mwah. And that begs the question, though, what number did Dominik Mysteryo give to Chad Gable in order to combat luchadors, to solve the mystery of how to wrestle a luchador? The first person that I think it could be, Chad Gable calls the number right, and there's a mysterious voice, and it's like, hey, meet me here. And so Chad Gable, they have like vignettes. It's gonna be ridiculous. Get ready, buckle in for some ridiculousness with this angle. Chad Gable goes to some, wrestling warehouse or whatever with a mat, and there we have Dominik Mysterio himself in a mask. And Dominik actually could be wearing the Rey Mysterio mask from 2023's Royal Rumble when he basically took his dad out and stole his mask. And so, yeah, we just have Dominik now training Chad Gable. And we can have Chad being like suspicious that it's Dom, but just not really knowing and just having this goofiness happen right there. Or if we don't want it to be Dominik Mysterio, it could be Carlito. Either one of them can work in this position. It'd probably be funny if it was Carlito while Dom trained. He was the trainer yelling at everybody. And it could just be like, hilarity could ensue if it was Carlito or Dom. Pick your choice, but one of them is the luchador under the mask, and it's obvious, and yet we don't flat out call it out. I would put Chelsea Green in here because Chelsea Green actually came out one time in a luchador mask as well, but they've specifically said that it is a guy in the exchange of the phone numbers.
No guy who can help you out.
This is the guy.
So it can't be Chelsea Green. She would be a good choice, though, and very, very funny, but they literally said it's a dude. So Chelsea Green not on the list. But what if it was El Generico? Who's El Generico? He's Sami Zayn, actually. Sami Zayn, well, we don't know for sure, but some people suspect that Sami Zayn started off his career as a Mexican luchador in Canada as El Generico. He really just rose up through the independent scene, had some banger feuds with Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens in Ring of Honor, and throughout everything, they eventually would have like just a bunch of matches, and Kevin Steen would eventually win, sending El Generico to retirement to start an orphanage in Mexico. Kevin Steen would later say that El Generico died a horrible death, but Generico would show up on social media after that, so I don't know. I think Kevin Steen was lying, but we never did see El Generico in the WWE, and we actually never seen El Generico and Sami Zayn side by side either. Maybe, no. Could they be the same? I don't know, but either way, what if El Generico came into play? In all seriousness, though, it's not going to happen. For one, I don't know if WWE even owns the El Generico moniker gimmick, and they probably do, actually, because this was an independent Sami Zayn that went all over to many promotions as El Generico, so I bet they could use it. The problem is, Sami Zayn is in a very serious angle right now, where he's trying to prove himself as a serious main event contender, going so far to actually even be kind of maybe getting a small mini feud with Seth Rollins leading into the Royal Rumble, so to then put him into a comedy angle with Chad Gable, it just wouldn't work. El Generico not showing up. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if El Generico Jericho never shows his face in WWE. That just might be a gimmick from the past that WWE doesn't want associated with Sami Zayn. And whoever that number is that Dom gave out, I hope they do help Chad Gable overcome this luchador problem, because he definitely needs to win a championship. And you know who else needs to win a championship? You do. You would look so good with this undisputed replica, not a toy, belt on your shoulder, on your waist, hanging against your wall. You could win this right here. But how, Chop? How can I win that belt? I'm glad you asked. All you gotta do is comment below, subscribe to the channel as well. You gotta do those two things and hit the, well, that's the like button. So hit the like button, but don't forget the notification. Turn that on as well, please, please, please. I'm trying to quit the day job and do wrestling content full time. Help me out by just engaging in the channel, and you can win this belt at 10,000 subscribers. I'm going to give it away on a live stream, literally on a live stream anywhere in the world. So if you live in Mexico, where a lot of luchadors happen to be, well, I'll mail it to you. I'll figure out how to mail it to you. So please help me out and comment below and subscribe. But there is another WWE champion who has recently returned and has wrestled under a luchador gimmick in the past, and it would be none other than the legendary Juan Cena. Not John Cena, Juan Cena. And you're like, wait, who? Yeah. So in 2010, there was about a month period in which there was a luchador by the name of Juan Cena wrestling at house shows. And you're like, what are you talking about? No, I am being legit and for real. So basically, in 2010, John Cena was fighting with the Nexus. He was in a long-term feud with the Nexus, and there came a point where there was a match where John Cena had to join the Nexus and do whatever they told him to do. And then Wade Barrett was in a match with Randy Orton, and John Cena was a special guest referee. Wade Barrett said, you need to help me win, John Cena, or you're fired. John Cena wouldn't do it, and Wade Barrett fired John Cena. But in reality, it was just, storyline or whatever. John Cena never went away. He just hounded them and pestered Wade Barrett for about a month until Wade Barrett said, I can't take it anymore. Hire him back. And then John Cena came back and was reinstated into the WWE. But for about a month, John Cena was technically fired and not employed by the WWE. But there were house shows in that month that John Cena had been advertised for. So to get around all of this and still keep kayfabe alive as if wrestling was legit and real, they had to tell everybody, oh, John Cena, well, he no longer works for WWE, but we found a replacement, Juan Cena. And it was just, it was literally John Cena with a luchador mask on. Nothing else changed. And that was Juan Cena. So what if Dominik Mysteryo and John Cena are playing a gag on Chad Gable? They bring back the Juan Cena gimmick. Now, Juan Cena only appeared on WWE TV one time. It was during a Lucha House Party backstage interview where I think they had just won 3 matches in a row, and Juan Cena jumps in and goes,
Sí, cabrón! Fiesta! Lucha! Lucha! Lucha!
But that was his entire TV appearance. It was like years later, too. I think WWE 2K24, there's a skin of Juan Cena as well. And that's it for the appearances. What if we brought him back for this angle? Now, we could go off of, Dom and John Cena playing a prank on Chad Gable, or we could just do Dominik Mysteryo is not aware that John Cena is Juan Cena, and so he literally just thinks Juan Cena is this whole separate dude. So we could go either way on that part. But yeah, Juan Cena coaches Chad Gable. And I know you're thinking you don't want to waste a John Cena appearance on this, but don't forget John Cena, while very main event John Cena, he has a lot of he's done a lot of funny comedy, goofy things in his career. And so maybe we could just, segment off like a week or two of just goofiness for John Cena on his final tour of duty. All right, let's get serious now, okay? Let's get serious now. Here are some actual wrestlers who have been luchadors in the past, or masked luchadors in the past. We have Andrade, he was La Sombra. We have Humberto, who was Ultimo Ninja. We have Angel Garcia, who was El Hijo del Ninja and Santo Escobar, who was El Hijo del Fantasma. I apologize if I butchered those names. Please forgive me. I do not speak Spanish. But yeah, those guys, all of them were legit masked luchadors at one point in their career. I think only Santo Escobar was a masked luchador in WWE, though. NXT days, he did reveal himself, though, to be Santo Escobar down in NXT. But otherwise, all of those guys, at one point or another in Mexico or wherever it may be, were masked luchadors, and maybe we could play off of that history. So if you look at it, though, we could have the entire El Gato del Fantasma group actually training Chad Gable, and they don't like the LWO, and they probably don't like Penta either, because they're probably going to be jealous of him. So maybe they would want to help Chad Gable, and yeah, so that could be a solution right there, a person that they called, and they could actually do a callback to their history, and I wouldn't mind that, because, well, they're not really doing nothing on SmackDown, so this would give them an actual storyline. Andrade or El Gato del Fantasma, it's like a win-win right there. The next one is a very, very long shot, but it's a former WWE champion, Daniel Bryan. Yes, Daniel Bryan once went under the name the American Dragon. And so, what if we brought in the American Dragon? Not Daniel Bryan, but the American Dragon. Because Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, has said that he doesn't really want to come back to WWE. He's very much happy trying to help AEW succeed. However, he doesn't have any ill will to WWE. And the latest storyline had him pretty much murdered, like legit. They put a bag over his head and suffocated him. It's like, okay, I guess that's professional wrestling over there. But regardless, he was pretty much murdered and taken away. And that was the last we've seen of him. So Daniel Bryan's kind of like this, like, he's kind of goofy, right? Goofy in the sense that he just likes to do things that would make him laugh. Like, he likes to do an inside joke that only he gets. Like, he doesn't care if anybody else laughs as long as he's laughing. So, for him to return to WWE, he does it under a mask, because you would think that we'd want this giant fanfare. Oh, Daniel Bryan's back. But no, so he does it under a mask. You can't really celebrate Daniel Bryan, and it's the American Dragon that we get. Then we don't even have to rewrite any AEW stories of him not being dead or injured or whatever, because the American Dragon is the American Dragon and not Daniel Bryan. So what if we just brought the American Dragon to WWE to train Chad Gable? I don't think that's the one, but the next one is my final pick and who I think it's going to be, and it's going to be the guy from AEW, Malakai Black, aka the guy from WWE, Aleister Black. Aleister Black was released, I think, in 2020, 2021. He went to AEW. He's been there, and, well, he made no bones about it. Not really happy there. And recently, his contract, we think, has expired. He was in a faction called the House of Black, and they have written Malakai Black pretty much out of the entire faction storyline, so we're all just assuming he's coming back to WWE. And, well, you know what? Dominik Mysteryo gave the number to Chad Gable of Aleister Black, no longer Malakai Black, and Aleister Black is going to be a very serious character to Chad Gable's funny man. It's going to be the straight man, funny man dynamic here, and it's going to be amazingly awesome and funny. But Malakai Black, known as Aleister Black in WWE, he's not a luchador. He is not a luchador, but his wife is Zelina Vega. Literally, in real life, they are married. Now, they haven't had a real history on screen together. In fact, Zelina Vega has more of a history with Andrade on screen together. But regardless, we could easily rectify that. Maybe Dom got Aleister's Black number from Zelina Vega somehow, some way. I know she's in the LWO, but I mean, heel turns do happen. And here's the thing, though. Okay, so yes, he's not a luchador, so what's the connection here? The connection is this.
I'm off to master the dark arts of Lucha Libre.
He said, I'm about to master the dark arts of Lucha Libre.
The dark arts of Lucha Libre.
Dark arts is the key phrase there. Aleister Black is more of a spooky, dark character, more in line with Undertaker or the Wyatt Six. So dark arts right there. Luchadors are not like dark characters. I mean, maybe Penta looks a little evil, but just being a luchador does not make you a dark character. Here's the real cincher though in why it's Aleister Black. Dark arts again. Well, him and his wife, Zelina Vega, who does know the Lucha Libre style, they own a wrestling studio called the Dark Arts Wrestling and Muay Thai Studio. They literally own a wrestling studio called the Dark Arts. And Chad Gable is going to learn the dark arts of Lucha Libre. So I'm thinking Aleister Black and Zelina Vega are going to train Chad Gable in the dark arts of Lucha Libre, and he's going to come back with a vengeance. And well, let's be fair, he's probably going to lose some more because no matter how good Chad Gable is, Triple H just loves to just book him to lose. But you know what? We're going to have a lot of fun on the way there. We'll just cross those losses when we get there. But yeah, that is who I'm going with. Aleister Black, Zelina Vega, your dark arts trainer, mentor, teacher, whatever you want to call it. That's who they're going to be. That's who Dominik Mysteryo had the number of. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to learn more about Lucha Libre, well, let's click that video up there. It's going to be, or maybe it's right there or right there. I don't know where it's at, but it's Who is Penta? That video is popping off. I'd appreciate if you gave it a watch. Penta is amazing, and he's the one that was the final straw of Chad Gable realizing that he can't beat Luchador. So, you know, check out Penta and let me know. Comment here, comment there, and guys, girls, have a great day.